Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're live. Is that right? Am I being seen? I have no idea if this is actually working. To be completely honest with you, I just did this on the spot because I couldn't get anything else to work. Now, what I want to do today, guys, is go through the Bills' top five fantasy prospects not named Joshua Allen. Okay. I do have a couple of honorable mentions off the top. We're going to start off with James Cook. Okay. Now, I thought about putting James Cook in the top five. I really did, over a couple of the people on this list. But ultimately, what the Bills have normally done historically at the running back position with their rookies, it led me to held back from maybe what I think he can be by the end of this year. But definitely at the start of the year, just looking at what they've done with Singletary and what they've done with Moss, they're probably going to slow play him. He's not going to get a whole lot of touches probably right off the bat. Singletary didn't, Moss didn't. It was more Frank Gore's backfield, and then it was more of a split backfield when Moss came in 2020. And then it kind of became somebody's backfield at the end of 2020. They really tried to push Moss, and then obviously at the end of 2021, Devin Singletary came on like a madman. But yeah, normally with the running back position, the rookie running back position, they slow play it, and probably down the line they'll have him be a more featured role, and I'm sure he'll have more touches than Singletary and Moss did their rookie year. But for now, Jay Cook comes in at honorable mention. Okay, the Buffalo Bills top five players. Not named Josh Allen. Fantasy players not named Josh Allen. But I wanted to put the defense in here because I think the defense is actually going to have a huge fantasy year. I think the defense is going to be the number last year by point, but ultimately you have the people they put in front of you. We can't ask to play tougher competition. So we were the number one defense. Total defense, number one defense DVOA. All those metrics. So numbers don't lie. That's all that matters. And if they're going to slow down, I think the bolstering of the defensive line is really going to allow the secondary and the linebackers to unlock their true potential. I guess you could say. I mean, they've been great, but imagine if the quarterback doesn't really have any time to do anything back there. And imagine if they don't have to worry about guards getting to the second level and hitting them. Imagine if the defensive line could take care of that. That's ideally what the Bills want. That's what they've envisioned, and that's why they've been bolstering the defensive line the past few years, and hopefully that all comes to a head this year. Okay, those are the honorable mentions. Definitely two great prospects there. Now, starting off our top five is going to be a guy that I think is becoming underrated in terms of the type of role that he could have with us, and that's Jamison Crowder. Now, I don't think he's going to be the Cole Beasley replacement. I don't want to disrespect Cole Beasley like that. You're talking about a guy that had 82 catches last year, 693 yards. But when you talk about fantasy, Beasley was wide receiver 40 in full PPR leagues last year. If you take Crowder and you give him 75 to 80% of Beasley's production, the value there is just too great because right now, Jamison Crowder is like outside the top 60 wide receiver 60. So that just adds great value. If he can be 75 to 80% of what Beasley was, that adds great value. So that's amazing. Number four, Dawson Knox. Now, Dawson Knox is one of my favorite players. Just anybody that's that big and can run like that is going to be one of my favorite players. His drop percentage came down significantly this last year, and I think Dawson is not going anywhere but up. This is a guy we've heard every basically no production, and of course, how could there be when you're playing around guys like AJ Brown and DK Metcalf? And I know they had another receiver that was not really doing anything great in the league, but so I don't even believe he had a touchdown when he was in. So this is a guy that's really been learning and he's really been growing slowly and slowly and slowly. And he's another guy that took that third year, McDermott system jump, like Josh Allen, like Taron Johnson, like Ed Oliver. There's multiple guys who have taken a third year jump. There's another guy that hopefully we're expecting to take a third year jump that we'll be talking about a little bit later. Little foreshadowing there. So I expect a huge season from Dawson Knox. He's projected to have a big year. 50 catches, 579 yards, 6 touchdowns are his projected stats. So yeah, Dawson Knox comes in at number 4. Number 3 is a personal favorite of mine. You could argue maybe he doesn't even belong in this list. But I don't think a whole lot of people would actually argue that. A whole lot of smart people way. And that's Devin Singletary. Now, Devin Singletary, I have had the last 2 years on my fantasy team. And I have finished number 1 the last 2 years. Just saying. Now I haven't won the league, but I've finished number 1 in the regular season. And Singletary wasn't my RB1 or anything like that. I didn't even draft him as my RB2. I didn't have to. I didn't have to. His value was not that high, not as high as it's going to be this year. But to me, there was a floor to Singletary. There was a floor. He always would give me like 7 or 8 points. And every now and then he'd get you like 16 points. And obviously Singletary has been frustrating if you're thinking strictly about fantasy. He's been frustrating, of course. But the potential that you saw down the stretch as you went is undeniable. When this man is playing 80 something to 90 something percent of the snaps and he's getting the goal line touches, he is instantly at least an RB2, at least. Now, you do have guys, really smart guys like Mike Shoop, valuing James Cook over Devin Singletary. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe he was leaning Cook over Singletary, especially in PPR, only because Cook can catch the ball and he gets out wide and catch the ball. An NFL snap, and this is a guy that's only getting better. All the splash plays that were coming out of OTAs and minicamp were, from the running back position were from Devin Singletary. And I think he's going to have an amazing year. So Singletary comes in at number 3. All right, guys, we're going to stop real quick and take a word from our sponsor. Yes, we do have sponsors, believe it or not. Yes, and we are sponsored today by the letter H. The letter H is available in multiple different words, whether it be hello, Henry, hi, or hippopotamus. Yes, stop by your local alphabet to grab your letter H. It will not serve you wrong. All right, we thank the letter H for sponsoring this video. And at number 2, we have the great Gabriel Davis. Now I got a bit of a bone to pick with Gabriel Davis. When he came out, he said, "I want to be called Gabriel. That's what my mama named me, so that's what I want people to ask me, to call me, Gabriel." Comes out of my life. Everybody else is calling him Gabe. And when your teammates start calling you something, you kind of have to just go with it. But yep, number 2, we have Gabriel Davis. Now you could argue maybe this is too high for a guy who we haven't really seen the touches out of. He's a guy that's had 35 catches the years. But the eye-popping stat to me are the yards per catch stat. In 2020, 34 catches, 17.1 yards per reception. To me, that's just in 7 yards. In 2021, 15.7 yards per 15.7 yards per time you catch the ball. To me, that's impressive. To me, that's impressive. Now, of course, once you have more volume, you're not going to be hitting those numbers. I know that. I'm not saying he's going to catch 80 balls and have a 15 or 17 per yards per catch number. What I am saying though is with that 34 catches, 17 or 15 yards per catch, if you double that and he goes up to 60 something or 70 something catches, he really should only go down to probably like 13 or 14 yards per catch, which is still an amazing number for that type of volume. That's what I see for Gabriel Davis. That's what I see for him. I mean, and again, you talk about the third year McDermott system jump. Josh has had it. Dawson Knox has had it. We talked about that a little earlier. Taron Johnson has had it. Ed Oliver has had it. Ed Oliver will be on this list if he played offense, or if I don't know if we were doing something weird and we were doing defensive linemen. You guys, this too from Gabriel Davis's trainer, which gets me hyped. So Doug Kaid, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly. He's from Pro Football Focus. So he caught up with Gabriel Davis's trainer, actually Burt Wingham. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Probably not. But Wingham told Kaid that Davis has not missed a workout since the 2021 season ended. Think about that. I've been to the gym like 4 times since the 2021 season ended, and Davis has not missed a workout. Now, obviously, he's an athlete. But I'm saying you would think after he goes off for the greatest playoff performance by a wide receiver ever, he may say, "Man, I feel pretty good about that. Let me take a couple days off." No, this says, I'm gonna read it. This says Davis has not missed a workout since the 2021 season ended, and he now weighs 227 pounds. A big receiver, 227 pounds. And now last year his playing weight was 220. So he probably gained about 7 pounds of muscle, it sounds like, but he looks bigger. He looks bigger. So this is what William said. He's too big, but he's 23 years old. He's just growing into his natural body. You're going to see a big receiver. Now that excites me. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little excited. But Gabriel Davis is the type of potential that he showed in that last game. Because when you think about it, because of how many games he's played in his first 2 years, he played 16, 17, 18, 19. He played 19 games in his rookie year, right? I don't think he missed a game. Whatever. So we'll just say 19 games. There's been 19 games that he's been a part of, we'll say, his rookie year. Last year, he was, again, a part of 19 games. He played one less playoff game, but more regular season game. Is that math? Does that work? So, the performances we started seeing from Gabe down the stretch would be maybe what he would be doing at the start of a third season. So what we saw from him to cap off last year, and ideally is what we're going to see from him going forward. That's that third year jump. So a huge output from Gabriel Davis. But he is not number one. He is not number one, and I'm actually like excited, guys. Like our number one fantasy prospect for the Buffalo Bills, not named Josh Allen, is Stefon Diggs, which I know you guys aren't surprised about. I know nobody's surprised. I said it like you guys are going to be surprised it was. But no, Stephon Diggs, the impact that Stephon Diggs has had on, I'll just say me personally. I'm not even going to talk about the team or Josh Allen or organization. I'm just going to say me personally. The entertainment factor that Diggs has provided, the cool factor that Diggs has provided, the hours of highlights he's provided in a Bills uniform, of course. Um, yeah, Diggs is that dude. I mean, in the production from the last 2 years, I know it's been said, but it's just insane. 127 catches in 2020. I didn't even know receivers could have that many catches. If you would have asked me, I would have said that was the most amount of catches of all time. Of course, that's not true. 127 catches is a crap ton of catches. 1,535 yards. Over 1,500 yards, guys. That's in a 16-game season. You're talking about almost 100 yards a game. That's insane. 12.1 yards per. Every time this man caught the ball, it was about 12 yards. On 12.1 yards per reception on 127 catches. 127 catches. It's not 12.1 on catches. It's not even Gabriel Davis's 17.1 on 34 catches, which is super impressive. 127 catches, 12.1 yards per catch. That's insane. 103 catches, 11.9 yards per. This guy is a pro. He's a pro's pro, actually. He's a leader, he's a captain. He's a guy we absolutely need. He may be number one on this list if it was, the list of players that you can least afford to lose. He probably would be number one on that list as well. That's Stephon Diggs. That'll wrap it up for me today, guys. Took a lot just to get this video out. I had fun. I probably did this video about 8 times. No, not 8 times. I did this fantasy video about 5 times though. It got cut off. I don't know if this is gonna get cut off. I don't know if this is gonna get posted. I don't know if it's, what I will say is I had a blast. I had a lot of fun. If you also have fun and like the content, go ahead and like. If you didn't like it, go ahead and dislike. I don't even know if dislike is a thing anymore, but you could dislike it. Go ahead and subscribe. Um, I'm posting a lot right now because I'm on vacation. I'm trying to get some videos out. It's fun. I'm having fun doing it. That's the thing. Like I'm gonna try and keep to a schedule, but I'm also gonna post when I can. Like you'll have random posts. I'm gonna try and be consistent. I'm gonna try and say, oh, I'm gonna post every Wednesday. I'm gonna try and do that. I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday. I'm just saying. I'm gonna try and do that, but there's gonna be times when there's just random videos. Now, once the season starts, of course, we'll have more. It'll just be more consistent. But I'll be in training camp videos. I wasn't able to get any tickets, as I know a lot of you ain't able to either. If there's anybody watching, um, but yeah, I'm kind of just rambling now, only because I like being on the mic. So, next video, I'm gonna try and get another love letter out pretty soon. If you guys don't know what a Buffalo Bills love letter is, basically I just take one aspect of the Buffalo Bills that I love and just go through a few quick points about why I love it. So we did Josh Allen, and people responded pretty well to that. Josh is beloved by by our community. So the next one, I am pretty confident about it. So I'm gonna say the next one I'm gonna do is the great Sean McDermott. So look out for that. Hopefully that'll be going up in the next couple days from today. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a great one. I thank you for joining. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.